Tucked behind a hornbeam hedgerow in Fairfield, the Garden City of Victoria is in full bloom. And since the 1-acre Abkhazi Garden heritage site began to take shape in 1946, the gardens have reached a maturity that seasoned gardeners dream of. This garden was created by husband and wife Peggy and Nicholas Abkhazi. Having originally met in Paris, the two lovers were torn apart by both globe-trotting and the Second World War. But they were reunited 13 years later in New York, got married, and moved to Peggy's property in Victoria, which is where the garden is today. They built Abkhazi Garden together, and it stood the test of time. Today, the Abkhazis have long since passed away, Nicholas in 1987 and Peggy in 1994. The gardens are currently maintained by a team of volunteers called the Friends of Abkhazi Society, led by veteran gardener Dick Bullard.
Since 2000, essentially the volunteers have been the sole maintenance of the properties. We've worked sometimes under managers. Right now we're experimenting without a professional manager, and we've got we run about 10 volunteers almost every week of the year.
A BC-wide non-profit land trust organisation called the Land Conservancy is responsible for an $865,000 mortgage on the Abkhazi property. But based on financial woes, the organisation filed for creditor protection in October of 2013. Now, the gardens have already been saved from a townhouse development once before, and now the future of the gardens is again unclear. But the Friends of Abkhazi don't want to think about that. They're hoping that the legacy of this historic garden will continue. Like Jack, for example, who's in his 80s.
Jack Eldridge I think he started in 2000, and I don't know how he keeps going, but Jack keeps going all the time. Jack has been extraordinary in the sense that he has provided a lot of projects. The summer house was in dilapidated stage in the early 2000s, and Jack came up with the money. And Jack is one of those people, he just finds a job, sits down and starts working.
Then there's Barbara, who's a bit camera shy.
Barbara is also renowned for the fact that not only is she in gardening and doing everything else, but she makes our tea break.
Tea time! Jack, tea time!
She has provided a tin can of food that sort of is one of the reasons why we even bothered to come on Tuesdays.
There's also a tea room and gift shop on the property. Business owner Paige Lowton, along with his sister, run the operation on a month-to-month lease from the TLC.
We took over last February, and what we were trying to do is just trying to mirror the tranquility that's in the garden in the tea room with the experience of afternoon tea and light lunches.
Strawberry rhubarb pie.
And we were convinced that this was where we had to be. I mean, it's so tranquil, it's so life-giving.
If you would like to experience Abkhazi Garden for yourself, it's open daily from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. until November 1st, at which point the winter schedule takes hold. There is a suggested donation of $10 at the door, which will go towards help paying for the garden's upkeep.
What we want to do is to be able to keep doing this job and not be too deep in our pockets. You come to see the beauty of the whole garden at a time.
From Fairfield in Victoria, I'm James Green.